The American Legion have several youth programs. As far as I'm concerned, the Boys State program is the top program.
Boys State, it's a government simulation program. Essentially what we do here is we have all the students engaging in what is the mythical 51st state of the United States.
The goal really is to just get a large group of high schoolers entering their senior year of high school. There's a girls' state as well, and we give them a series of issues and let them work it out themselves. Within the confines of the law and the Constitution of the state of Michigan, which it's based off of, they're able to make it their own, which I think is really important.
Here we try and teach kids a lot about just the way our government works, but also generally about leadership skills.
Everybody has a job here. It's not just the governor or some other big four positions. It goes all the way down to chief of police at the city. It's not something where only the head honchos are recognized. You're recognized for a leadership position no matter how small it is.
The goal is to teach kids leadership so they can go back and provide leadership to the community and their schools. And we use the tool of city, county, and state government so these young men go back understanding how our government is supposed to work, get involved, and when elections and things come up, become an informed voter. Don't just walk in and pull the first button you find in the voting booth, but actually know who you're voting for and why.
A lot of Michigan has some rural parts to it, right? And in those towns, it can be difficult to experience people who have, or work with people who care about things in the same way that you do, especially when you're growing up as a high schooler.
Maybe a lot of us come from echo chambers. Our parents think a certain way, we think a certain way. Our city may have very specific views, maybe it's not very diverse. And so you have that set plan and you come here and you realize what seems like a simple solution. You watch the news and go, why does the government just do A? And you come here and everyone, or some people think very strictly they should do B.
This is something you encounter every day in your life. So politics is something you're going to engage with every single day, whether you like it or not. And I think we can all relate to a general feeling of hopelessness that we feel on these campuses among young people who just decide to give up. What we try and encourage here, especially in an incredibly partisan world and nation, is that you can make these friends, you can have these conversations, and you can manage to compromise. And it's not easy. Some of these conversations are about people's general humanity.
And that conversation is enlightening for a lot of boys going, wow, I never thought of that. I never really met anyone that thought that way. And so that broadens the horizon and that creates that critical thinking skills that many people develop, through college and later on, but it lays those seeds that help it grow a little further.
Tolerance of belief is what I like to call it. It helped me hear people who have different political views than me or different stances on how to solve issues, and it taught me to be able to accept those things and that sometimes I can't change them and sometimes I don't have to change them. Sometimes my actions don't have to reflect how I feel, it can reflect how everybody feels. It's leaving me, I guess, with a feeling of camaraderie with my fellow students because even though we all come from different places, we all came together here and did a lot of great things.
One of the things that I find really rewarding about the program is that you have this interaction, this very intense interaction with the other boys that you work with. And as a result, you grow together.
These kids have grown up. They've learned more about where they're going. They begin to focus on where they really want to go and what they want to do with their life. The impact of this is when you talk to an 85-year-old who went to Boys State and talks about the fact that this was one of the greatest weeks of his life.
I've had a really fantastic time. I've learned a lot about the government as it is and like the processes that go on, and the whole 9 yards. On top of that, I've made a lot of great memories so far, and I know that like some of the guys that I've been able to meet, like I'll continue to stay in touch with, and stuff like that, not only this year, but for years to come. And it's just been a really eye-opening experience because even for me, like I plan to go into business someday, like it makes you almost consider, could politics be a good road for me?
There's a tagline, they say it's a week that shapes a lifetime. Very cliche, very silly, it throws on some banners and that, and you walk away at the end of the week and you go, man, that tagline's right, like that makes sense. And you go from laughing at it to going, wow, that's right.